we had a kind of a ballpark concept on how much we should spend for saving kilos. I mean, we may spend up to 100 euros for saving a kilo.
Meet Katja and Fabio and their Schionning design Arrow 1500. This custom-built, fast catamaran is full of smart design choices and weight-saving ideas. After thousands of hours of work, they are now sailing in the Mediterranean. Weighing just 8 tons at a length of 50 meters, they are cruising with speed and comfort. Join us on a full tour of this modern spaceship and its wonderful owners.
Welcome to Boat Life is Best. Here you'll find interviews with sailors about their boats and their life on board.
Ranging from family sailing to solo sailing, from absolute beginners to sailing legends, on big yachts and small boats, and from brand new to old school.
If you like boat tours and conversations with sailors, definitely subscribe to the channel.
The boat is a Schionning design, Arrow 1500. And we chose for this because it's a catamaran first, of course. That's what we wanted to have, but it's a catamaran that can sail. I mean, which is different than most, I would say, charter catamarans, where the sailing is less pleasurable. So it's not the most spacious, it's not the most luxurious, but it's good size, although it's very light, and that's what we try to keep it mostly. And light, simple, and with good sailing capability, especially with little wind, because it's nicer to sail with little wind than with a lot of wind. Everybody can sail with a lot of wind, but then it's uncomfortable, we think.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the interesting features that you have here. So, if you tell me like your sail setup or...
Yeah, my sail setup is, again, simple. The basic sails, we have a self-tacking jib and a mainsail. I mean, about 40 square meter or a little bit less of jib and 80 square meter of mainsail. Those are the working sail, let's say the standard. Then from there, normally we put let's call it code 0, cruising code 0, whatever, is for light wind, not really close haul, but I mean from 50 degrees apart we can sail, and that we double basically the area of the sail for little wind up, not really upwind, but downwind as well, we can use it. Or we can also have, we just got a new asymmetrical spinnaker, quite big, for very light airs from behind, where it's comfortable to sail like that. And we tried it once, and we also have a symmetrical spinnaker from our old boat, also under 60 square meter, which you can set it up. I mean, on the catamaran is without a spinnaker pole, so it is relatively easy, I mean with a sock, but it's a little bit more complicated because we have 2 guys, 2 sheets and so on. I mean, the asymmetrical spinnaker is of course easier with just 2 sheets, and that's it. Reasonable amount of solar panels, you never have enough. So I mean, we have about 2 kilowatts, and most days is okay, I would say. I mean, of course, if you get 2 days without sun, we need to start saving or warming up less the water. We do most things with electrical stuff. Also, cooking is all electric. We should have also an electric outboard motor for the dinghy, which is under repair at the moment. So we have a petrol on board, but otherwise we were trying to avoid that as well. But we don't have gas. That's the most important thing. This is also for ventilation. I mean, inside the boat. I mean, mostly. I mean, this is a boat we don't go very often in the harbor, so it's designed to stay cool at anchor. And for that, you just need to open up the front of the boat. So all these 6 windows there, those are standard deck hatches, which are used like windows, and you can open them all, and you have your breeze going through the boat, and that makes you cool both in the saloon and also the cockpit, at least behind the door. Because I mean, the solar panels on top of the roof, I mean, they're warming up a little bit the roof, but I mean, within reasonable things in the summer. And then we have dagger boards, of course.
Yeah.
They're not the biggest dagger board that you can have. They are cruising dagger boards, so they go down this much. We copied this system from another catamaran where you can have, you don't have any other, you don't use any line back, stoppers or anything, just this self-paying things, which makes it quite easy.
Very nice, simple setup.
Yeah, and also for the sailing things, everything's at the mast. I mean, the only thing, the main sheet and the jib sheet are of course coming back, and the traveler is controlled from the back, but for everything else you need to go to the mast, the halyard. And we've seen our age, I mean, electric winch for the halyards, here, and an electric winch for the main sheet.
Yes. So you do all the raising and the reefing, everything you do at the
Everything
mast.
is all here. I mean, this idea of trying to bring everything back. I mean, you fill up the cockpit with ropes, and I don't. At the end, you end up going on the mast anyway. I mean, I think it's one. I would say a canoe boom. I mean, the idea is to have it. I mean, it looks nice, but it's also functional, very practical. I would say, to avoid to have all this lazy cloth or lee cloth with the lazy jacks flapping around. So the cover slides on top of it, but the sail is contained a little bit in the boom, and the boom is basically it's a carbon pipe and then a shell of sandwich to hold the things. And it looks nice and it functions very well.
And the mast is like a standard aluminium mast?
Yeah, standard aluminium mast. I mean, in our trade-off between cost and weight and performance, the carbon fiber mast was, we thought, excessively expensive, and of course we had a kind of a ballpark concept on how much we should spend for saving kilos. I mean, we may spend up to 100 euros for saving a kilo. And I think with the mast, it costs much more than that for the few tenths of kilos that you end up saving. So that was not worth. Of course, there are other advantages, but at the same time, it's.
You have to draw the line somewhere.
At some point, the money is finished. So
Yes.
I mean, that's the mast was a little bit too far. Yeah.
And you have a special helm. You have a helm without a wheel.
Without a wheel. Well, actually, there is a wheel, an electrical wheel with the autopilot here, but mostly say we don't steer the boat almost ever. I mean, okay, we have a helm stock here and tillers, which I would say we use them mostly in emergency. I mean, of course, we have tried to get some pleasure by sitting here, but in most cases, I would say for our situation, I think it's limited the pleasure. I prefer to check the autopilot and sit from inside the boat than here we stay mostly for maneuvering. I mean, because that's the best way to stand up here and get some visibility, because the boat is large, very difficult to see where it finishes. But here you can have someone on the front there to tell you where. If you're docked, but most cases, I mean, this is the starboard side is the one where you tend to dock if you're going there.
Yeah. Nice, and you have a very big open living area here.
Yeah, this is a 4-meter wide cockpit and 2-meter table, which with fold-out things, which can accommodate enough guests when we have them, or on board or from somewhere else. It's my, and then okay, I can hang my hammock here. I mean,
Yeah, it's hanging here. That's your favorite spot to be in?
this is my favorite spot. I take it out now, so at least here I can move, but. And from here then, I mean, it's not completely open to the inside. I mean, we have this door, we can open it a little bit more, but it's not really.
Yes.
This is about a meter opening, and I would say that's enough for getting some passage things, and then can get on this. The dinghy is sitting basically on the back. Doesn't have davits or anything. I mean, we use it. We have tried with the boom extension things. Now we do it with the topping lift, and I think it's practical enough, and it's solidly standing there. You just have 2 ropes to hold it there.
Yep.
And also simple.
Okay, so now we go inside and see what the inside of this large catamaran looks like. I think we're now in the main living area. Can you tell us about that and how you set it up?
Well, I like my kitchen, so the main living area is basically a kitchen. Fabio says that this is a catamaran, which is actually a kitchen with 2 hulls. So that's the kitchen area, kitchen island. We are cooking all electrical. There is an induction in one of the cupboards. 2 standard fridges. So let's say that is, in my opinion, the most important part of the boat.
The most important of the boat, a nice open kitchen,
Exactly,
lots of workspace.
and these are just your standard kitchen cupboards from home. So it works just at home. Except, of course, that I only have a very small inverter, so I can only run 1 electrical appliance at a time, which is not really to my liking, but then there are always compromises to be made.
Always compromise to be made. Yeah.
The let's say navigation area. This is basically where we spend the time when we are sailing. It's fly-by-wire, so everything is is electronic.
You have an amazing view from here inside as well, like all the windows all around, and all the way to the other side as well, like to the deck. It's almost like 360 degrees.
It
open,
is.
Yeah.
We let's say we designed the inside ourselves, and we pushed the side panels as far as possible up. So we have this, I don't know, what is it, 5 meters?
That depends the way you measure.
Yeah, maybe 5.5 meters from one side to the other side to get that as much as possible. The only thing that breaks your view is the bathroom, which is probably the exceptional thing of the catamaran. It only has one bathroom, and it is on saloon level.
And why did you make this design choice?
Yeah, well, that is Fabio who decided it, because he got fed up of unplugging anything in the toilet. So this toilet, there are no pumps.
Yes.
There's a holding tank. So let's say whatever you do in the toilet falls down by gravity. And the holding tank is above water level. So the only thing you have to do is open a valve, and everything can come out when it's possible.
Yeah, and then we have like, of course, like the two halls. How have you set them up? We have like an owner's hall on one side and the other one more for guests, or?
Yeah, well, yeah, we have our bed on the port side, the left-hand side. I thought I would do some public size.
Ah, that's a book you wrote.
Exactly.
We'll put that one in the link.
Yeah. So this is, let's say, this is one of the 4 double beds. Standard 160 wide. So I've got a standard IKEA mattress, and well, at the moment it looks like this because the water maker doesn't do what it's supposed to be doing.
Yes. So the water maker is, well, at least some parts of the water maker are back there.
Yeah, exactly. You have the.
And you have 2 diesel
pumps.
engines.
Yeah, 2 Nanny 38 horsepower. Just diesel. We for a very, very short time we considered putting one electrical, so that we would have a hybrid system. It was already complicated to build this boat from scratch, and we did not want to complicate it any further. Who knows, maybe in 20 years time it's going to be an upgrade, because I think we don't believe in full electrical, but one electrical and one diesel, that could be the way to go.
Yeah.
But at the moment,
just 2 Nanny diesels.
2 Nanny diesels,
yes.
38 horsepower.
Yes.
This is the thing the multi-cooker that I use as an oven. Here we have the water maker, the pumps are down here. The washing machine is running.
It's running. Enough electricity today to...
Yeah, it was fine weather, and finally we managed to get the water maker up and running, so it's not a problem. Our bedroom, and then up front we have got the shed.
The shed. I think a lot of boat owners will be jealous of how big this shed is.
And well, one of the things we also did, we decided that we would like to use the space, so we made the let's say the companionway as narrow as possible, which I think is 55 centimeters. The important thing was, of course, that the washing machine would fit. So, and
it's good that you thought about that beforehand. Yes.
But in the end, so only one staircase, and as I said, only one toilet up there. It's basically the same as on the other side.
Yeah. So here you have like a nice guest room.
Exactly, same idea. Standard bed, 2 meters by 160. And we have
windows on the side.
Yeah, windows on the side in the bedrooms, but they're not opening. That was a choice by us. We do not want any unneeded water inside.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we do usually keep them open.
Yeah.
So there is ventilation, but you can leave open the hatches, and it doesn't rain in. No hatches on the deck. Mm-hmm. First of all, because when you're walking on deck, it's not nice to be walking on hatches. Secondly, it heats up a hatch under hatches much warmer than under this sandwich. And thirdly, you don't need the light. So there is no reason actually to have kind of hatches in what I would call the corridor.
Yeah, during the day you're not really spending any time here, so
You don't spend any time at all. So this is another bedroom. I mean, these are again standard mattresses. I think the whole width is 2.20 meters.
yeah, they're very roomy beds this way. Yeah,
Yes, and you could. I mean, of course, you could put them together, and you can have double bed. But you could also have double bed turned 90 degrees, so that you have your feet up front and the head in the back, depending a little bit on how the travel is going.
yeah.
How you want to sleep.
I like these as well. Like no doors, but
Well,
nice
this is
way of closing it up.
another
Yeah.
IKEA. I think our house was IKEA and the boat is IKEA.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have one door, the bathroom door.
that's the only door you have on board.
Yeah.
That's a cool fact as well. Yeah,
Doors away and they stop the ventilation. So in the end, that's
Yeah.
not really needed. This is the hanging cupboard and the paddle board and some other stuff, and then the sail is up front.
yes, loads of sails and toys. But you told me like this is not even your first, well, kind of home-built boat. You already did a whole tour around the world, or at least did some sailing as well, and built your own boat already.
Yeah.
So yeah, can you tell me about those adventures?
Yeah, I think we were young and crazy then. We thought we had a lot of time. No, we had probably more time than we had now. And instead of saving and buying a second-hand boat at a certain point, we decided, we build it ourselves. We built it even a relatively big, 47 foot. Van der Stad, Samoa, and 7 years of our life. I mean, the life before children, as I say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And as soon when
our daughter was born, and then the boat had to go in the water because there was no way anymore to work on it. But we made it. Of course, it was kind of finished, but then we sailed a little bit around. But then while working, and then took 2 years sabbatical, and we sailed a couple of years around the Atlantic. I mean, we went down to Brazil and Cuba, not much further away than that.
it's a nice Atlantic
A
round trip.
large Atlantic circle. I would say.
Large Atlantic circuit. And what about the sailing performance? I think you already told me like you try to keep it light.
Yeah.
And it's of course like more performance-oriented
It's
catamaran.
more performance oriented, and the boat can go very fast. It's more the people inside the boat that they still want to be comfortable, and we have not broken the 20 knots speed yet. Got very close. I mean, the first time we sailed was 19, and last autumn also 19 and a half or something like this. Then the code zero decided to explode, but it's not what you want to do anyway. When we are more traveling with the boat at the end. So for us, it's more important to be able to sail 6 knots with less than 10 knots of wind. I mean, or being able to go a little bit close haul with little wind. I mean, if the waves start to build up, you don't want to go close haul anyway. And if there's too much wind, okay.
the forces on the boat becomes quite a lot, and then things start breaking, like the code zero, or it's. Let's say, as a cruiser, you do not want to sail fast because that means that you have got waves.
Right.
It means that you have you're running a risk with the material.
Yeah. Normally the nicest thing is when there is, the wind picks up a little bit, and then suddenly you don't notice it, then you're sailing 10 knots.
Yeah, I think exactly.
And this is still mostly still very comfortable.
Yeah, I think
Then
10
you go to
10 knots is
12,
really.
when you go beyond 12 knots, then the movements are getting a little bit rougher, but depends of course on the waves. I mean, the waves are coming, and we have not sailed really in the open ocean with the long waves. Probably there you can go faster for a longer time. I don't know. I hope so. When we're going to cross maybe the Atlantic.
You have to find it out what it is like.
We will find out. But in the short sea that you can find in the Mediterranean, we have been sailing in the North Sea. It gets very uncomfortable very easily.
Yeah. Cool. And why did you choose for boat life? How did you get to that? Like
I don't know. We met on a boat, so it is a boat. Is we are a boat. Except for the period where we were raising children and working, both of us. Then of course, we didn't have time for the boat. But we met on a boat, and we found always interesting boats, and building or sailing. As I said, it was nice to go with the 3 children, 2 years with the boat. That was also part of the way we raised them up. We think is a good life. You go around, you meet people. you have a different cross-cut of society.
Yeah, so the Schionings are like, they're home-built catamarans. At least you can buy the plans, and from there on, you decide how you get it built.
But you can, of course, we decided to get them built in a yard. I mean, because they had built already one similar boat, I mean, the same boat, but then the 12-meter version. So it was a yard in Germany, Balticat. At the end, it was not an easy process, but we got the boat. Let's say, I mean, we could sail away from the yard. Then we still had to put quite a lot of hours of our work on it. But it is not easy to find the right builder in the right place. I mean, because Schionning are built all over the world. Mostly, I would say, Australia, and quite a few in South Africa, and then many are real home builder. But we didn't think. I mean, the amount of hours, I mean, that you need to put on a boat like this is we are too old for that.
Yes, and with the experience from the first boat.
Experience for the first boat, where I think the first boat we took, what was 8,000-9,000 hours, something like this. I mean, in 7 years, and you can, and then while working mostly. So at the end there was holidays, weekends, and this kind of things. Now this is more hours. I mean, 50% more, and it takes too much of our time. I mean, even full time, and I say our years at this age are getting precious. I mean, you never know how many you have, so you better start sailing at 60 and not keep building another 3 years or 4 years and then sail.
So, would you ever design and build your own boat? Let us know in the comments. Did you like the interview and tour of this amazing boat and its owners? Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified of any new videos coming up.